This is the Gothic Moose.
name is DJ Moose, and I'm joined by...
Kevin.
From Scene Noir.
Who is Scene Noir?
Got Andrew. Dave.
Aislinn.
Kevin.
Hello, Andrew,
And Kevin
Dave,
again.
Aislinn, Kevin. Welcome to the show. You guys are Scene Noir. Scene Noir is a band from Montreal with a decidedly very short description on their Facebook page. Just Dark Wave from Montreal.
Yeah.
That's us. That's us.
That's it. Simple.
Tell us about yourselves.
Well, first things first, Moose, thanks for having us on the show.
You betcha.
Yes.
And you know, having a chance to spend some time. So yeah, we're 4 people that just like to make music together. We trip over, you know, weird dark wave from the late 80s and 90s. And yeah, what do you think, guys?
We like to get lost, you know, in some gazy, dark, wavy, atmospheric vibes.
And dreamy.
Very dreamy.
Yeah.
Is it all real?
Is it real?
Is it real?
Are you real?
Nice. Okay, so we started off with some music that is not Scene Noir that was chosen by Dave. What did we play?
So we started off with the cult Spiritwalker, and then we went into Catherine Wheel, Half-Life, and finished off with the Cure grinding Halt.
Why did you pick these bands?
I picked these bands. I picked these songs. I thought that they were actually kind of cohesive all together, and just this element of kind of earlier tracks. The latest one is from '93. When Chrome came out. But one of the things that really kind of goes together with them is that they're all guitar driven, but there's no super complicated lines. There's really a nice harmony that goes along with all of these tracks, and it's just something that's really just kind of really hit me to the bone whenever the first time that I heard them, and it still sticks with me today.
You guys are all Scene Noir. What do you each do in the band? Since I'm not used to interviewing bands, usually I'm just interviewing a dude with a computer. This is a whole new experience for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I play guitar. I play like rhythm, and I also switch up to do a little bit of synth and some percussions here and there. So we like to switch it up a little. It's fun.
Nice.
I'm Kevin. I do the bass.
Kevin is also in like 15 other bands in Montreal.
Yeah. I get a lot of work these days.
Everywhere I look, there's Kevin. Oh, it's Kevin.
Absolutely.
What's he doing there? Oh, there's Kevin again.
Yeah.
It's a hard-working man.
Hard-working man.
Too many friends.
Either that or a shortage of bass players.
Probably more of that.
Yeah. You're too talented.
No, it's because bass players are too difficult.
Yeah.
And this is Dave here. I play guitar primarily, but I also do some synth and a little bit of backup vocals too.
And I'm Andrew, and I do a lot of the programming and stuff, a lot of the sequencing behind the scenes. I play synth, and I dabble in guitar every now and then. And I sing.
When was Scene Noir formed?
Scene Noir started way back in 2012 as a solo project with myself. And then Dave and we actually played in a band way back in high school. And then it just happens in 2013, 2014, where we both ended up being in Montreal. And we just thought it'd be cool to start making music together. So we initially started with Dave, and then we played together for a few years, and then we were like, you know what? At the time, also kind of touring around and playing a lot of shows, I crossed paths with Kevin every now and then, drinking some bourbon in venue bathrooms before gigs.
That was memorable.
The bathroom or the bourbon?
And we kind of bonded over a lot of love for like Britpop and a lot of British music and Manchester and those types of things. And so we talked that one day we were going to play in a hazy kind of shoegazy type band. And so Dave and I at one point were like, hey, you know what? Like let's grow the family a little bit. And so Kevin came on board, and I had known Aislinn for a little bit as well, and we had connected. And I initially heard Aislinn had come over one day and we were having some drinks, and Aislinn started playing on guitar, and she just played so well. I was like, it's kind of crazy that you're not in a band. And
true.
And so we were like, hey, you know what? You come in and join the family, and we've been having fun ever since.
Yeah, honestly, it went by so quick. I can't believe we're already in 2021. I remember She Lives at 9. She came out in 2018?
It's our first song together.
Yeah. Fun
Nice.
times.
So let's go with some more music. Up next, we're going to have Just Mustard with the track Deaf.
Closer to me, closer to me, oh, closer to me, closer to me, closer and closer and closer, 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 closer to me.
Just Mustard, because it's got a bit of darkness, but it's also recommended by Robert Smith. No, I didn't talk to him personally, but I read an interview with him and he was raving about this band, so I was kind of curious. So I went and listened to the album and got tons of stuff. And it's really nice. It's got that nice darkness but dreaminess. It's, kind of a movie thing too going on, which I find reminds me a bit of Scène Noire. There's a lot of movie soundtrack elements. Then I picked Shame, a British band from Songs of Praise, Dust on Trial. Also has a bit of a moodiness to it. And Sea Within a Sea, The Horrors from Primary Colors, because it's a bit of a long song, but it has a lot of dynamic movements and a lot of dreamy elements, which I think connect well with what I listen to, but also what we play in Scène Noire. Because, it kind of interweaves and there's like little melodies like Andrew would do, or Aislinn would come in with a little line and Dave would do this, and they all intermix, and it's really nice. So that kind of reminds me of that. Not that we sound like the Horrors, but that's why I chose these tracks.
Nice.
Nice track.
Nice. And since we're also talking to you, what are some of the other bands that we should know about that you're in from Montreal?
From Montreal, well, I used to play with Hexaphene, which was a goth band. I play with the Emberglows, which is a bit more, say, kind of a British indie feel to it. And I have this project right now, but it's kind of stopped because of the pandemic thing, called Dusk. It's with members, the singer from Let Us Out, Ursule, who's also in Sue. The drummer from Calamine, the ex-Calamine because they split up, and Richard from Room Control and the Emberglows. So that comes back to saying, these are all things that happen because we were friends or we go to each other's gigs, and sometimes we just, rave and say, hey, I have a track sitting around, you want to come and try stuff, and that's how these projects are kind of born.
Right.
So that's what I'm working now. And I've known Andrew, as he said before, for quite a long time. We played together when I was in another band in Ottawa. As he was mentioning, he was playing alone. He had lots of really cool projections. And I think that moment you mentioned was at the Playhouse. So yeah, I've been on and off and discussing working with Andrew for a long time. So I think we share a lot of musical background.
Nice. So with Scène Noir, the started off, had your initial release, more electronic releases, and then what came after that?
So then after that, we went kind of when Dave joined the band, we kind of started going in a different direction. We had a bit more of an independent music kind of sound. So guitars kind of made their way in there, but we always had the foundation of the drum machines and those sort of things. And so the release after that, I think that was what I would consider the first real Scene Noir album. It was called Waves, and it was really, that's it, really kind of with that sort of recipe into it. A couple of years later, Dave and I, we worked together on our first bit more of an electronic release called From Dreams to Memories, and so that one was a lot less guitar driven. And then since then, we released a couple of singles as we're kind of finding our way as a band and kind of rediscovering our sound with the new members of the family. So we released She Lives at Night, and then last year we released a song called Dance. And now we're getting ready to release our first full length as a full band now, and I think this is going to be a really interesting release for the band.
Super excited.
And it's going to be lots of nice melodies in that, lots of hooks.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It's actually interesting. I was listening to the playlist for today's show, and Apparitions came on, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good song. I wonder who chose this."
We all did.
Yeah.
Or it chose us. It chose us.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna hear it right now. The new track, right?
That's right.
So here we go with the new track called
Apparitions. Is this real?
Right. So tell us about Apparitions. How did this track come about? What's behind it all? How did you make it with COVID?
So Apparitions is the third song on our album that's coming out, and this is it's a weird bit of kind of like a conceptual album. Obviously, with COVID, you find yourself having a lot more time, to spend on creating something. And I think that was kind of our plan as we were going into the winter. We were like, hey, we're going to produce some music because I think it's good. It's important that we're busy. It's good for our mental health and to not be kind of turning our thumbs and stuff. And so the concept of the album kind of came out, and so this album is basically, it's a story, and it goes from kind of start to finish. And I'm not going to give too much of that away. I'd rather people discover that on their own. But anyway, Apparitions is really about just when you don't sleep a lot, and when your sleep's really, really affected, and then you're kind of wandering around and you're kind of drifting back and forth between that state of being awake, or at times it's, you close your eyes and you're kind of falling asleep, and kind of in between there's this really, really weird kind of universe that exists. And anyone that's ever had insomnia or anything like that totally knows what I'm talking about. And apparitions are just sometimes you're just kind of questioning yourself, you know, what's real right now, what am I dreaming, or am I awake, and what's actually happening. So
do you find that at moments, if you're, you know, in that sort of dream, in between dream state or whatever, and because you're a musician, right, so like music is coming to your head, I would imagine, you know, that you wake up or you come back to reality, go, oh, what was that I was just imagining? I had it and it was fleeting. Or is that just me?
Well,
which is why I'm not a musician.
no, but it brings you ideas, like not just musically, but for lyrics. I don't write lyrics with Noir. Andrew does the whole thing, but just the image sometimes can conjure up ideas for songs, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Like a story is always good to have as like a skeleton of your song.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's only so much fun you could have with reality, right? Like, I think, you know, substances can take us to a different world. I think not sleeping a lot can take you to a different world. Your dreams can take you to a different world. And I think there's just so much art within all that, you know, and I don't think reality can top that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty trancey track, too. It has that state, you know, it's kind of a trancey moment, that track.
Yeah, it's very it's very fun. It's very, very trancey. I agree.
The dream state that is Apparitions. All right, how about we go with some more music? And up now, it's going to be BAMBARA, which I keep wanting to mispronounce as another band, and the track Stay Cruel.
Grab the cash out and save it. stage. She smiles, touching my hand. I recoil and say, Your feet, they little mouth.
So, what did we just hear, Aislinn?
Yeah. So this is it's a really cool band. It kind of like came up.
Yours is the newest set, I think.
Yeah, a lot of these are more new. I decided to
Kevin
go
was
more
close,
towards Kevin too. Yeah, actually, the Def, I was so close to choosing that one. I was telling Kevin before. It's so good.
It's a really good track.
Yeah, I decided to go with a few newer bands that are still like up in the same kind of scene and genre as us. I figured also that like a lot of the good classics would have been chosen as well. But yeah, this showed up in one of my discoveries on Spotify, and I just like fell in love with it. I just love the whole atmosphere. It's a little bit of a story as well, so it's fun. It's fun. Soft Kills as well. Soft Kills I really enjoy. They released this new like demo raw version on Spotify as well. I've just been listening to it. It's self-titled as the Premier Drifter, and it's an amazing album front to back. Like I can listen to this on repeat. Yeah, well, the last one, Boy Harsher, You're Lost. It's also, you know, it's very electronic. Gives me kind of like a vibe of older scene noir and kind of newer with maybe a little bit of the Apparitions feel, and I just definitely needed to add some more of electronic feel to my little mix here.
Cool. I'm trying to think if I've seen Soft Kill live. I can't remember. I've seen too many bands and my brain is slowly turning to mush. And I think I've seen Boy Harsher, but I can't remember anymore.
Do you remember seeing Actors? That was a swell gig. I was there with Dave, actually. I think I saw you there.
Yeah, Actors was the actor. I mean, I think I like Bootbox better than Actors.
Yeah,
they had a great performance.
Their energy was incredible.
The whole showcase was really awesome. That's
that's when I discovered City Gates, and I was like, I remember, as I've said many times, it's like four guys who've been waiting 30 years for post-punk to become popular again. and they've been like practicing for 30 years to be so tight.
Yeah, they're great.
It was incredible. I was telling somebody about that. I was, seeing Actors and Bootblacks, and I'm like in a venue that's the size of my living room.
Yeah, exactly.
And these are like big bands, like Actors. I mean, Jason has his hand in like everything, and he's remixing everybody and like whatever. And you're just like, it was an amazing show. A highlight of my past like 3 years.
It was a great show.
Yeah, it was a great night.
The whole scene was there too. It's a really nice, friendly show, warm vibe, and as you said, the City Gates were rocking it, and it was a really nice gig. One of my best memories.
I think everyone that was there was either in a band or a DJ.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like
Nick were there as a tons of bands.
There was nobody who wasn't either one of those two or like related to someone.
Yeah,
the Casa is just a fantastic place to play and to go see bands. It's just to me, it's one of the biggest, the treasure in Montreal. It's a gem.
For sure, I'm
just hoping you'll come back and survive the whole pandemic situation, because it's one of my favorite venues.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah.
So, since you guys are all in a band, and I know, are any of you in other bands other than Kevin?
I have like a little solo project that I've been working on, but nothing necessarily ready to be released or anything, but it's just been something I've been working on just as a personal project.
Nice.
Yeah, so hopefully sometime in 2021 I'll have just a little something to show, but that's more for just my creative fun.
Right. Cool. So part of the reason I was asking about that, though, was, this year of not being able to go to shows. So the only shows, which I actually kind of like, is being able to watch them online, so I don't have to get dressed.
the best.
So I get to see bands that I haven't seen in Germany and I haven't seen here. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like,
In the comfort of your
yeah,
bed.
don't need to put pants on.
You can have popcorn.
That's optional.
It's great. But it's also something, I think we all miss, right? And this is why I was
Terribly.
asking, because so many of you do stuff live, and that sort of, that thrill of being in front of people and playing live, you must miss it a lot.
Miss it a lot. So I think I was talking with Andrew, like the Sote show was really something magical that happened there, but it's meeting a lot of people, going to see bands too, playing live, but also going to see friends
Right.
in other bands.
Yeah.
And it was a really nice community supporting each other.
Yeah, totally.
Really
The
missed that.
community is definitely missing the community for sure.
Yeah. Seeing our friends from other bands and seeing them live there, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, like the last show we did too was just before the pandemic,
Right.
so it was kind of like, oh no. At least we had that last show.
What was that, March 6th or something?
Yeah, it was right under the
Yeah.
wire.
Yeah,
like
just
lip-
right the week or a couple of days before or a week before the
Yeah,
everything stopped.
yeah, it was like 5 days. You guys were the Saturday, and then
Yeah.
the last shows were on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
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 No, I know. It was like everything. It was just going to be such a cool event.
Yeah.
And
There's so many good things, yeah. I wait to get back up there playing, but also seeing people and friends and mixing with the other people from the other bands. It's a lot of fun. Montreal's a really great.
let's go with the last set with the aptly named band The Scene, with the track Soul Spectrum. This is a question I've been dying to ask the entire time. Andrew. How much did the scene influence your choice of name?
Whoa, that's a deep question. I've got actually a personal attachment to the scene. I'm super good friends with the drummer.
Jaska, yeah.
And we kind of grew up in the same neck of the woods. Actually, Dave's from pretty close to there too. We all went to the same high school. Anyway, so I knew
you're all
Jaska.
townshippers then.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I knew Jaska, and I knew he played in a band, but I didn't know his band. And it was only years later that I kind of discovered the scene. And I think that the scene is the best thing out of Montreal as far as ever in regards to dark music. I just think they're just phenomenal.
Those are some pretty big statements.
If the scene would exist today, they would be famous. And I'm convinced.
The singer from the scene, Richard, is a frequent listener to the show. So
you hear that, Richard? You hear that?
You'll hear your songs of praise.
Andrew, gonna pay some royalties for that.
But I just love that song. I love that song so much, man, and it never gets old. And no, actually, it didn't. It didn't really come to. Maybe subconsciously, it influenced scene noir, which could very well be. The unconscious is a very interesting thing.
Because the scene was a pretty audacious choice of a name, calling yourself the scene in the scene.
Yeah.
And then calling yourself Scene Noir in what is effectively the dark scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touche.
Touche.
Time for some spike bottom.
So after the scene with Soul Spectrum, which was on Only in Paradise and released 25 years ago.
Wow.
Quite some time. I was there when it was released. The guitarist from the scene was my promoter when I became a DJ. And he and I used to spend hours discussing goth music. So once upon a time.
The only way to have a conversation about goth is for hours.
Hey, we don't judge. We bring bills to a virtual interview. So you know what's
those cowboy revolving doors, no problem.
Yeah.
So yes, right. After the scene, what did we have?
We had a Clan of Xymox and Medusa, and wrapped it up with Skinny Puppy's Addiction.
So Skinny Puppy you chose because it's Skinny Puppy, and
yeah, I just think it just reminded me of I think I mean I used to be a huge Skinny Puppy. I was huge on Skinny Puppy and Ministry and a lot of those early industrial Frontline Assembly as well, Front 242. And so those are really, really fun bands for me. I think kind of growing up and discovering music and discovering what was, not mainstream or what we would have called back in those days, alternative music or college rock or whatever label they decided to put on at the time. And I don't know, I just thought it was cool, like that back then you could listen to a radio show, and I actually think tonight's radio show is going to sound a lot like that, where you would just get such a mixed bag. Like you would hear like a Britpop shoegaze band, and then right after they would play an industrial band, and then after that they'd play a punk band. And I just love that overall blend. And I don't know, so as I was kind of picking out the songs, I was kind of like, you know what, I kind of want to have a vibe like that, where it's like just a nice mixed bag.
Nice. It's funny, that was the original inspiration for the show, was to do something like that, and it's become nothing like that in the last 12 years. But yeah, because that was when I first started going out. That's what it was like. You would hear a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's gone more niche-y, I guess. But,
yeah. When I became a DJ, we like separated out the goth and the industrial. We're like, well, that's all we're playing. We're not playing anything else.
Yeah.
And it's good, in a way, kind of sad.
it's what Andrew was saying. He's mentioning one point we were practicing. He was talking about Dave's old videotapes there of music. I think it was Dave's brother or something had that, and there was like the fall in there and tons of stuff. There's all a mix of everything, like I don't know, Sonny Cute and right next to the fall, and that's pretty cool too. You know, brings back good memories of that kind of mixtape things.
Yeah, exactly. I think that everything was either pop or just this other big basket of everything else that kind of fell into it.
Right.
And it's like I think it's changed definitely over the years, but there's definitely something that's nice reminiscing about those times when things kind of when you could put those like songs like that side by side and it wasn't out of place.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Andrew, you kind of do a reference like that sometimes, a little ad lib here and there. That's pretty cool too. I like that when we're playing live there.
Yeah.
I think that really describes kind of who we are, like kind of as a band. We don't really, we have like, we'll have an electronic song like Apparitions, but like next to it, it'll be like something that's more of like a rock type song. And maybe 2 songs later, we'll have something that sounds almost industrial. And it's just fun to be able to kind of mix it up a little bit, express yourself in those different ways.
This album, I was going to say EP, but really at 8 tracks, it's more of an album. It has really different vibes and different feels to it. It's very nice variation.
It's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, agreed. Lots of bangers and mash.
Yes.
So when is the album coming out?
We're aiming for probably May or June. It should be done and ready. But yeah, we're hoping to drop a few singles before then.
And when is Apparitions coming out, or is that not? Is it just
Apparitions is out today?
Oh,
so it should be out today. We're here to introduce it, and then it is free. It's let it run loose in the world.
So listen.
And where can people get this new track?
You will be able to get this track. It'll be on Spotify. You can get it on our SoundCloud. You can get it on our Bandcamp page, and get it from the dealer of your choice.
I'll put those in the links to the show. But will it also be on coldmodelrecords.bandcamp.com?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly where you'll find it.
All right. So in case anyone is listening to the show and not looking at my website, which is possible, although disappointing, you should look at my website, gothicmoose.com. So coldmodelrecords.bandcamp.com, and you can get the new track as well as a bunch of other Scene Noir releases and some Andrew Velvet releases.
That's true. Got some solo stuff out there, yeah.
Tell us about those, Andrew.
So yeah, a couple of years ago, I started doing some solo music. That was really just electronic based DJ type music. It's very very calm. It's the best I can describe it. Just messing around with synthesizers and stuff. And
nice.
Yeah.
People, you can check that out too. And there we are. This probably brings us pretty much to the end of the show. So thank you for having all come on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Sorry again about the pills.
We know one of you has an addiction.
Well, it's certainly not the bass player, I can tell you that.
and either got a visit or some food delivered.
I would take claim to that. My roommate definitely ordered something.
No, it's all right. We hear it all here on the Gothic Moose. But so yes,
adds texture.
It does. Well, it depends what was delivered.
Yeah, true.
It's possible. It could not add texture. It could be something rather bland, disappointing. It's like when you get the package and you open it up, you're like, oh, that wasn't what I was expecting.
Like soul crushing.
Whoa,
that's the words I would choose as well.
Soul crushing.
The sprinkling of darkness here.
Yeah, gotta make everything dark and gothy.
That's right. How else can you see the light?
So there we go.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us,
Thank you
Moose.
very much for having us.
Thank you.
We'll buy the coffee when we start gigging again. We'll buy you the coffee.
Yeah.
Well,
Extra froth.
Yeah, extra fraud for $10 worth of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Awesome.
Thank you so very
Cool.
much.
Thanks,
Thanks so
Moose.
much for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
thanks.
a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming on. I'm glad you guys did it. We'll do it again next time you have a new album.
Let's
Looking
do
forward to
it.
it.
Pressure's on. And I look forward to seeing you all in person and see you perform live.
God, yes.
Us too.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I've got it to say it's But did you ever notice the kind of thoughts I got? Well, you know I have a love for everyone I know. And you know I have a drive to live, I won't let go. But can you see its opposition comes rising up sometimes? That it's dreadful and position comes blacking in my mind. And that I see the darkness, and that I see the darkness, and that I see the darkness, and that I see the darkness. Did you know how much I love you? Is a hope that somehow you can save from this darkness. Well, I hope that someday, buddy, we have peace in our lives, together or apart, alone or with our wives, and we can stop our whoring and pull the smiles inside and light it up forever and never go to sleep. My best unbeaten brother, this isn't all I see. Oh no, I see a darkness. Oh no, I see a darkness. No, I see a darkness. Oh no, I see a darkness. Did you know how much I love you? Is a hope that somehow you can save me from this darkness.
So this brings us pretty much to the end of episode 395 of the Gothic Moose. I hope you've enjoyed the show, where we were joined by the Montreal band Scene Noir. Definitely check them out. Pretty tasty and delicious stuff to listen to. I added a couple of extra Scene Noir tracks. We started it off with Another Night of London Rain, and we ended their interview off with Fix, and then that was followed by the track Actors by XYX, and Bootblacks followed that with ABC Anxiety, and then a track that I came across today, and I heard it because on the Sad Goth group video was posted from the end of a night, and it is Acid Polly versus Johnny Cash with I See a Darkness. Damn it, that's good. And I wish I could find a legal way to get it, because I kind of pinched it off YouTube, but it is so good. So if anybody knows where I can buy that song, let me know. It's great stuff. And yeah, that's it. Thank you to all those who tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. on crackradio.com. Otherwise, it's available everywhere else on Saturday, like Apple and Google and Mixcloud and Hear This, and wherever else you get your podcasts. So feel free to tune in and listen, and don't forget to like, share, and follow. And in 2 weeks, we're going to have DJ Adam Baum, who's going to be joining us. And then, I don't know. I need to find someone to have as my 400th guest, my 400th episode guest, and I don't know who it can be. Not yet, anyway. But thanks so much for having tuned in. Episode 396 will be next week, and I have been DJ Moose, and good night. There's someone who has like a bottle of pills that they're shaking back and forth.
I didn't know it was that kind of party.
Pills, thrills, and belly aches.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah. A little bit of
Did you
texture.
No one's
Take care
owning
of
up
that
to
noise.
no one's owning up to the pills, right? Like
No,
everyone,
no, no.
like, we'll never
You're
know.
not here. You're not here.
I like how as soon as it was called out, it stopped.
Yeah. Oops.
and it turns out it was pills. So the band sort of started 2012, right? If I was paying attention, 2013.
Yeah.
And did you release music then, or?
Yeah, there was some very early scene noir stuff, and it was very electronic based. Initially, it was I was basically a table musician. I would show up with a bunch of machines and set up with drum machines and kind of sequence everything out and play with 4 synthesizers on the stage and really just me. And it's funny because now we've kind of come full circle a little bit, and because we're releasing a song this week that is also fully electronic, but we've kind of gone back and forth. Most of our stuff has been pretty guitar driven over the last little while, but we've always had this little hint of electronics in there. And so part of that, I guess that core of scene noir still stays alive in a lot of the songs.
Okay,
Just with a lot more stuff's added on top.
who's running the sync now?
Oh, that's me. Sorry. I will admit that.
Are you okay? So
I'm filling up my water.
Rinse down the pills.
I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but you would probably need some water to wash down those pills.
Yeah. And don't get near Andrew's bourbon, please.
I'm so parched.
You know, like a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed Bill Lee, and I'm convinced he was eating breakfast while we were doing the show, or like what sounded like he kept munching on like a banana or a peach or other fruit, and he would cut them up. I couldn't really say anything, you know, like it's like, excuse me, Mr. Lee, can you stop eating while we're doing?
I guess that's when you know Frontline Assembly is a successful band, right? Like that's what you have to deal with.
Put food on the table.
Yeah.
And I also had a very short window in which to interview him because I had to go get my son at school.
What a fantastic guy! What a nice guy, though. What a seriously fantastic guy.
Yeah, no, we talked like we'd known each other for 20 years. Kind of surreal.
Fun.
And whoever's shaking the pills, stop it.
Those damn pills.
There was
always
someone
about
walking
pills.
around, someone sitting on a beanbag chair. I'm feeling I have to be all fatherly. Quit with the noise.
Come on, guys, get it together. Let's get it
Hey, who's
together.
got the beanbag? I want to know.
Let's not get kicked off the DJ Moose show.
Yeah, no. Focus.
Imagine that would be pretty.
Needed to add some more of electronic feel to my little mix here.
Right. Somebody's decided to do some heavy breathing.
God.
Yeah.
I think the pills just kicked in.
The pills kicked in, followed by like. I was like, wait a minute, this has become like a 1976 number.
Time to play Apparitions again.
Yeah.
Hold on, here we go. No.